Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our platform, Relationship Matters. As usual, this platform is your platform. This platform is where we talk everything about relationship, where we try to give advice, we try to give some tips that can help you in your relationship. Now, so every Monday we come here just to try to help in that department. Okay. Now, so far we have been talking about that a successful marriage always require hard work. You want to work hard in your relationship to make it successful. Okay. Now, always we come with two things we always say that the success of a marriage depends on you working on yourself to become the right person for your spouse. That's the first thing. You should always remember this. And the second thing we always say that the success of a marriage depend on you learning to know and to love the person that you have found. So it's more or less more on you. So if you work on yourself and your spouse also work on him or herself, what will happen here? Both of you will be happy to live together. So it's about me, right? Working on myself to present myself the better person towards my spouse. Now, today is more of like a homework I want to give to you so that you can work on it yourself. Okay. I have 10 questions which I have prepared for you. They are very, very deep questions which I want you to ponder on them. Okay. And to work on them throughout this week. And they will add some spouse into your relationship. So those are the things that I have to give you. They are tips, okay, which will provoke your thinking. Begin to think about those things, and when you think about them, you come out with solution that will help to make your relationship much stronger, and you begin to enjoy your relationship. Remember, the aim here is to help you to enjoy your relationship. The aim is here to prevent any problem arising into your relationship. Most of the time problem arises in the relationship because we don't understand one another, or we are not frank towards one another, and or we are not honest about ourselves. So that is can bring problems. But when you are honest, you present your way the way it is, you understand your partner, and you talk together, you can prevent a lot of trouble happening into your relationship. Okay. So today, the topic is be honest and be frank about yourself and your spouse. So be honest, be frank, talk frankly with your spouse. Don't hide anything. Let everything plain on the table. That will help you a lot. Now, this apply mostly for people who are already living together. Okay, you are already a married couple. You have been living maybe for a period of time, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 1 year. You have been living together. Then it is very important you look at the future. What is the future? How will your relationship span? How do you want it to be? So therefore, be honest and talk frankly will help you a lot. The first question I put down here is this: what is your opinion about your marriage? That is the first question. Write it down. Take a pen, write this thing down. If you don't have a pen, later on, go and look for a pen, write this thing down, and begin to meditate upon this thing so that you can have a good answer about this. Okay? So the first question is, what is your opinion about your marriage? What does that mean? That means that, do you think that your marriage is the most important thing in your life or not? Where is the place of your marriage in your life? That's your opinion you have your marriage. Because if you think that your marriage is the most important things in your life, you'll be committed to it. But if you think, well, I'm just here for a time, I just want to see how it goes, it will be difficult for you to be committed to it. And very soon, that marriage will not last longer. So if you, the husband, have a frank opinion, what do you want? What's your opinion about your marriage? The wife also does the same thing. Both of you will come into a very good agreement. If you feel that this is your life, you work on it to make it better. My answer to this is this: your marriage is the most important thing in your life. Because if you are not happy into a relationship, it will affect you mentally, it will affect your productivity, it will affect many things about your life. It can even affect your health. Yes, it's very important. That is how important relationship is all about. It affects your feeling. That can people, some people commit suicide because they are not happy in that marriage. Some people just lose their way because they are not happy in that marriage. So the first question is, what is your opinion about your marriage? Okay. The second thing, write this down. What do you think is your spouse opinion about your marriage? So the first thing about you. Now the second one now is about your spouse. What does your spouse think about your relationship? Does your spouse think that is the most important thing in his or her life? Does your spouse think that this is his life? You want to give everything in that relationship? Or he or she does not care? Or he or she have other thought about it? Maybe they think that maybe he's in that relationship for a particular interest. You want to gain something. So he's not really committed to it to make it a life, a living, worth living. So what is your spouse's opinion about that relationship? That's very important. Okay? So write this down, think about it, and when you have good time in the very peaceful time with your spouse, those are the things you ask your spouse. What do you think about our relation? What do you think about our marriage? How is the future spanning like? This is very, very important. The third question, which I wrote down for you, is this. What are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of your marriage? Now, in any relationship, you'll find out that there are things that makes that relationship to stand strong. But there are also some difficulties. These are what we call by weaknesses. What do you think? Because you have been in that relationship now for a period of time. Maybe it's 1 year, maybe it's 2 years, 5 years, 10 years even. You should be able to know what are the things that makes that relationship to be strong. Is it the feeling that you have towards one another? Do you think that is the case? Do you think is um, maybe you have reached the level of being friends in that relationship? What do you think? So anything you think makes your relation to be strong, my advice is amplify those things, make them stronger, make them more, okay, so that you can bring more joy, more stability into that relationship. The things that you think they are like difficult things, they are weaknesses, they are setback to that relationship, what you need to do is you and your spouse be frank, put them on the table, say these are the things that are having a problem in our relationship. So therefore, how can we go about it? How can we remove them? How can we work on them? So the third question now is, what are the strengths of that relationship? Is it your communication? Is it the way you serve one another? Is it the way you take the esteem you have towards one another? Yeah, it can be. Is it the way you talk together? It can be. Anything that you think makes your marriage, your relation to be strong, those are the strength. Now, maybe the weak points may be that you don't have time to sit down together. Maybe anytime you sit together, you don't really communicate well. It may be interferences, things like that. So anything that you think is bringing problem into that relationship is a problem that you need to address it. Okay. The fourth question is this: what are the moments in your marriage that brings more satisfaction to both of you? Oh yes, certainly there are moments in your marriage that brings satisfaction, that brings happiness, joy into that marriage. When you have moments like that, that always when you when you find yourself in that situation, it makes joyful. It makes you wanting one another. It makes you to brings you together. The advice is try to do them more so that to create more that is not every day, but time to time. Well, those moments can be maybe vacation. Anytime you go on vacation, you feel like, yes, this is a family, we are together, things like that. It may be whenever you are together, you feel the joy. When you walk together, you're in the kitchen together, maybe you are cooking together, or you're in the garden together, taking care of your garden, or in the house, housework, doing things together. And maybe if you have children, the way you work together with the children, all of those moments, what are the moments that brings more satisfaction into that relationship? When you know those moments, surely do them more. Because the more you do them, you amplify them, it brings more joy. So the more you do them, the more it creates a bond between the two of you. Okay? So therefore, maybe it's outing. Maybe anytime you go out is good. You go to a cinema, you go to watch maybe a movie, anything like that. You go for entertainment, things like that. So the more you do this, you do these things, the more it brings joy, it brings satisfaction, it brings unity, it brings peace, it brings love into that relationship. When you know those moments, try to do them more, both of you. Okay? That is the fourth question. What are the things that bring the moment that brings more satisfaction to both of you? Now, obviously, the fifth question now will be, what are the things that brings problems into your relationship? Surely you should have noticed by then that anytime we go this, we are happy, but anytime these things happen, it always brings problem. That means that you have noticed the things that always bring kind of problem or argument or misunderstanding in your house. What are those things? Write them down and look at them. It can be, maybe it's money problem. Yes, it can be money problem. Or maybe there's not enough money. Your husband may be working hard to bring money in the house, but you find out that the money is never enough. How can we go about it? Is a problem brings argument. Surely, if you're a wife, you look at it and say, okay, because the sake of my marriage, can I work extra? Can I come and help my husband so that we can make more to remove more the burden from the husband? Because remember, money matter can bring a lot. Money always brings problem into relationship. Okay, so how can you go about it? It may be family interferences. Maybe your family they comes into the marriage, or they try to intervene or interfere into your affair in your house. So when you know that this is a problem that brings argument, how do you go about it? One of the way to go about it is, if you know it is your parents that brings the trouble, you are the one who have to face your parents, not your spouse. Because your spouse cannot really face the in-laws. It is you. Remember, this is your life. This is your marriage. It's not your father, your mother, your brother, your sister marriage. It is you. It is your life. Do not allow any one of them to bring problem into your marriage. They don't sleep with you, right? They don't know your feelings. They don't know your intimacy. They don't know the things are very secret to you. It is your spouse. They may come, bring trouble. By the end of the day, they will leave the house. They'll go to their houses. And you are the one who will be staying there to face the problems. Why should they bring unhappiness into your house? If that is the problem, what you need to do, you face your parent. Tell them that, hey, I love you, but I also love my spouse. So my spouse is me. The way you talk to my spouse, you are talking to me. The way you behave to my spouse, you are behaving to me. If you really, really love me, you should love my spouse. You should take my spouse the way I take him or her for my happiness. You see, you have to face your parent to deal with this matter so that it will not become a problem to your house. Okay? It can be friends interferences into your relationship. So face it, it can be food, it can be anything really, or the state of the house. Those are the problem. Now, when you notice that these are the things that are bringing problem, that can be a potential, how can I say it? A potential that can bring problem into your marriage. Okay, so therefore try to avoid them or face them. Both of you face those things so that they will not bring trouble into your relationship. So, what is the sixth question? The sixth question is this: what are the things obviously that grieves most in that relationship? What are the things that you think that grieves you as as a person, not both of you, but you? When you look at those things, you are grieved. It really destroys your feeling towards your husband or towards your wife. It may be your partner behavior. It may be your spouse, the way he behaves towards you, the way your spouse talks to you, the way your spouse does things in the house, the way your spouse makes you to work harder, more, or he or her is not really paying too much attention. Maybe when you are in pain, he does not care. Maybe when you are going through a situation, it does not really bother, things like that, he or she. Okay. So the things that grieves you more into that relationship, what are those things? Maybe there are one or two things. Okay. So write them down. Then what do you do? Simple. Don't hide them under the carpet. The best thing is see your spouse. Say, honey, I want to talk to you. Find a moment, a good environment where you know that everything is peaceful, there's no fight, there's nothing. Then open your heart. Say, I love you, honey, but look at this, look at this. Can we do this? Can we do that? The more you are frank, the more you talk towards one another, it is better. It will solve your problem. It will remove everything. Personally, I advise you avoid as much as you can to bring a third part into your relationship because the third part may not really know too much. It can only know what you are telling him or her. But you yourself, you know what is the problem. Try. The key of all of these things is what? A humble heart. A heart that is committed for the betterment of both of you. So there's not supposed to be any pride or arrogance into a relationship. No, it's actually we are in these relationships for to enjoy it. So I'm here to serve you. You are here to serve me. So I'm as naked as I can before you. You are the same before me. So therefore, let us be frank towards one another. If there's a problem, let me be humble. Let me talk. You also talk. Let us serve it peacefully. There's no need to fight. You see, why should we fight? Because the devil wants you to fight so that you can be divided. But you can beat the devil through what? A humble heart. A humble heart, you listen, you say, okay, let us do it this way. Both of you will be happy. Mostly, if you are committed to that marriage, if you think, that's why the first question we asked was, what is your opinion about your marriage? If you think this is my life, then you go extra mile. You do everything you can just to protect and to save your marriage. Therefore, the things that grieves you more, um, that made your spouse, maybe he does things unknown to him or unknown to her, or he does something on purpose to wind you up or things like that. Those are the things that grieves you more. You know them. Make sure you fix them. Because the more you put them aside, you are building up hunger inside of you. The more you build those things, they destroy your feeling towards your spouse. You see, you will not have the same feeling again. The love is no longer again. It becomes just endurance. I'm enjoying it. No, it's not supposed to be so. It's supposed to be a happy place. I'm here. I'm enjoying it. Therefore, frankly talking is very, very important. And always be honest towards yourself and towards your partner. Now, obviously, the seventh question is what we spoke earlier on. What disagreement do you have in your family, in your relationship? Yes, there are some disagreement. Are they very strong disagreement that really can push you to separate, that can push you to not talking to one another? No. Everything you have can be solved with a humble heart, a heart of that. This is my life. I don't want to destroy it. I don't want to be moving from one partner to another. No, you must avoid that. That should never ever be the question. You must always have in mind that I am in this house, I'm here for life. Therefore, I'll do my best to serve my partner. I'll do my best to make my partner happy. You must always have ideas. So, therefore, when a disagreement comes in, you look at it, you say, okay. Now, always remember, three fingers come to you. Always. What is my part in this? Am I the one bringing disagreement? Look first yourself. Don't look at your partner. Look at you. Am I the one bringing trouble here? Am I the one making problems? What is my contribution in this? When you look on yourself, you examine yourself, you go deep down in your heart. Surely you'll find something. Maybe you are the one. Now, whatever you find that it comes from you, change it a bit. And when your partner sees that you are changing, your partner may also do the same. Disagreements can come, maybe is money matter. Again, money can bring disagreement in the family. Maybe the expenditure, how one of you is spending the money. Maybe you are spending money on gambling. Maybe you are spending money on buying things that are too expensive, which you cannot afford, right? Maybe you are maybe in fashion or things like that. Maybe you are spending money in gadgets, okay, that are not really important for the man, for the house. Maybe we should use money for this. So that can bring also disagreement, expenditure, expenses, okay. Money can bring the problem. Again, kids maybe can be. It can also be parents. Parent can be intervening in that marriage and can bring trouble. Or it can be homework. That means that who does most of the work in the house? Is it only one, only the wife working in the morning till evening? Are you helping? Because remember, those things can kill feelings. Those things can make resentment. Your partner may begin to have a resentment towards you because you are not helping. And there are many other things. So anything that you bring, you think are bringing disagreement, face those things. Talk about those things frankly so that you can make peace for a better future. The eighth question, obviously, is this: do you think those problems cannot be reconciled? The problem you just wrote earlier, that this is the problem I bring a disagreement, this is the problem I bring us to not really bound together. Do you think those problems cannot be reconciled amongst you? As I said earlier, surely they can be reconciled. If both of you think that this is our house, we want to make it a better place to live. Go over your pride. Go over your arrogance. Don't be arrogant. Don't be proud against your spouse. It does not help. It actually, you are destroying yourself. Because remember, if you are not happy in that house, when you go to work, your mind will not be settled. Your mind will not be settled. It can affect you mentally. It can affect everything you do. So therefore, it is your duty to make sure that peace will prevail in that house. Therefore, my eighth question is, I don't think is there anything that cannot be reconciled. The reason why we are looking for a third part to come and intervene in the marriage is because of the state of our heart. I'm not giving up. She's not giving up, or he's not giving up. So everybody pulling his way apart. Therefore, we're looking for somebody to come and intervene to reconcile. Why should you go to that extent? Because by so doing, you are exposing the state of your heart. But actually, it's the work that you're supposed to do yourself in your heart. Always look at anytime a problem comes, you are the first person. Look down on yourself first. Am I the one bringing the problem? This is it. Am I the one? If you can see that you are the one, surely you change. Surely you make adjustment. When you do that, the other part also does the same. You come to a very easy agreement, a very peaceful agreement. By the time you do that, both of you begin to hug each other. Both of you begin to cry again. Oh, forgive me. Oh, forgive me. Oh, I've done this. I've done this. Yes, that's how it is. But when you bring a third part, once, yes. But when it become all the time, I don't think it's the right thing to do. Okay? Now that leads us now to the nine and last question, which is also important, which concerning your sexuality. Again here, write it down. What is your spouse's opinion about sexual intercourse? What does your spouse think about sexual intercourse? Is it important, or how is the approach, he or her approach towards it? Are you satisfied with your spouse's behavior concerning sexuality, or you are not? You may be shy about it, but I can tell you that most of the problem also happen into a relationship because of sexuality. One of the spouse may not be satisfied. One of the spouse may be not getting what he or she is want to get. So that can also lead to problem. So it is a good thing that both of you talk about it. Be honest. Be clear about it. That honey, this is the way I like it to be done. Honey, this is the way I like it to be done. Honey, this is it. This is it. What the time you feel my abel, what the time I feel like. So all of this, how you have to talk about them. They are very important. For some of us who believe in the Bible is written this, that never deprive your partner or your spouse, never deprive each one of you unless you agree for a period of time to be given to prayer and fasting. That means that when you decide to pray and to fast, you see that during this period of time, we are not having any sexual intercourse. Both of you agree. It should not be only, okay, I'm going for prayer and fasting now. I don't want anything. No, you are depriving your partner. So don't do that. It must be done in agreement. And the same Bible says that once you are done that, when you finish that period of waiting, come back quickly. So, because the devil can tempt you then. So, come back quickly as you were before. So, what is your opinion about it? Talk about your spouse clearly, honestly, frankly speaking, very important. And the last question, the 10th one is, what problem do you have in your sexuality? Is there any problem you notice have been going on in your sexual life? Talk about it. Write it down. Think about it. Be honest towards your partner. Say, this is my problem. This is my situation. We're in this together. So help me. I'll help you. This is how it is. So that if you help me, you will get the best out of me. If you don't help me, obviously you will not get the best out of me. Whenever you are not helping your partner in this area, you know what happened? You are actually pushing your partner towards the door. If your partner, your spouse cannot get what is he or she supposed to get from you, he or she will be tempted to get it somewhere else. Who is the fault again? One finger, three finger come back to you. It is me. I'm the one pushing my partner towards the door. So what I do, I have to work on myself so that I can accommodate my partner. I can help my partner to satisfy my spouse so that all of us will be happy in this boat where we are together. So these are the 10 things I promise you I wanted you to write this down so that you can talk about it. Is a frankly talking, be honest about them, find a time, a conducive time whereby you can talk to your partner. Usually things like that can be done outside the house. Maybe during vacation, you are away from your comfort, your usual environment. Go to a neutral place, a place that can bring you more joy. You forget about the house, you forget about the children, only two of you. You're having a good meal. You're having a good things there. Now the time you are talking, you are opening your heart towards one another. All of those things, you begin to go through them. By the time you come back, you say, oh, it was a good time we had there. Then you begin to implement the things, changes that you agree with your spouse. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. And it's the homework I'm giving to you. Now, you can come back, listen to this again, and try to work on these few questions. And I am sure they will bring more spouse to your marriage. It will make your marriage to be stronger. You know what it does? It will increase your communication and it will increase your trust towards one another. It will increase your honesty towards one another and it will band you together. So that's all I wanted to share today. Have a blessed week and we'll see you again next Monday, same time, 8 p.m. British time. For the now, see you. Bye bye.